what is the server address, because this is my distributed scenario of Wazuh. The IP address of my Wazuh indexer, Wazuh manager is this, and Wazuh dashboard IP is this. What you are going to name this agent? I am going to name this agent my machine. Any group you want to add, default. Now what is this? The installation command just compiled. You just have to copy this command, go to your search bar of the host machine, search for PowerShell, click on the PowerShell, run as an administrator, enter yes, simply paste that command and press enter. It will take a while to install. Now the next step is what? Start this service on the agent. The Wazuh service was started successfully. Now we will go to our agents. Yeah, before that only one Wazuh agent was shown here. Now the count goes up to 2. Now it come to the disconnected agents from never connected agents. In the meanwhile, it will go to the active agents. That's it. The active agent is this. You can see, you can select the agent. It will take some times to send the log. That's how you can simply install the Wazuh agent using PowerShell. How you can create the GUI user for your multiple users, how you can create internal users in your Wazuh server. So let's just move towards the configuration and the way how you can create new users in the Wazuh server. The first step, you have to log in your Wazuh GUI. The Wazuh GUI has successfully logged in. The next step you have to follow is to click on this menu icon and goes down, drop down, click on this security button. This is the window where you can create new user, assign rules, whatever you like to do. Click on this internal user button. Currently I am logged in with my admin user default and which have backend roles admin. You simply have to click on this create internal user, or you can click any user and duplicate that user. So currently I am going to create a new internal user. You have to type the name for username and password. The password must be tricky and not the easier one, so I have created a difficult password because the instructions are pretty clear here. Password should be at least 8 characters long and contain at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one digit, and one special character. The username must contain from 2 to 50 characters. Valid characters are A to Z, 0 to 9, underscore, hyphen, and Unicode characters. You can use all these instructions in your username you want to use. So I have created a username and the password as well. This is the tricky part. What you have to do, you have to assign role to this user. You can see the roles from here. These are the backend rules you are going to assign to your user. Right, currently I am going to use my admin backend role. You have to type this manually and click on this create button. The user has been successfully created, which has backend role admin. Now we are going to log out my this admin user and see this admin user, the newly created user will work or not. Yeah, the user has been working fine currently. If you want to change password for the user, you can click on this reset password button. You can easily change your password from here. You have to enter the current password and newly password and click on this reset button. This is the one scenario. You can create an internal user. We are going to use another. Click on, we are going to select an user and click on this action button and click on this duplicate. We are going to name whatever we want to and just have to enter the password. If you want to change the name, you can type here. The admin role, backend role already assigned. Now we are going to click on this create button. Now use the third one user I have created in front of you. That was test copy and the password was the same. Enter that password and click on this login button, and there you go, you have successfully logged in with your newly created user. This is how you can assign backend role to the newly created user. If you want to assign any of the role to user, you can open the default user from here and you can create the new role from here as well. So if you want to assign any of this role, you simply have to open that role and map the user and click on this map button and select any of the user. This is how you can map the roles to the user. Reports, read, access. This is how you can assign multiple roles and permission to user according to your requirement. You can simply assign these roles to any of the user the way I have guided you. Hope you guys understood the scenario very well. uh, Creation of new user is very simple. You have two ways. You can create the user by simple button create internal user, or you can create the user by this option as well. You have other options available here. You can delete the user from here, edit the user from here, and many more. Now you can create and configure dashboard in your Wazuh. So we are going to log in our Wazuh GUI. Currently, I have one agent installed for the Wazuh server and it is disconnected. Let me just start the agent. Okay, here it is. I am going to start the agent, then it will be appears to be active. Let's see. Yeah, currently it's active right now. You have to go to main menu first and see here the dashboard. Click on this and create your first dashboard. So I am going to create the first dashboard. I am going to use data table to display values. Okay, we will select the Wazuh alerts. So in the matrices, in the bucket, we are going to select split table, right, and going to select column, and next here you have to select the terms and select the field to add. I am going to add first timestamp and select the order ascending and the size of table rows and columns and select the time and click on this update button. Okay, if we select the rows, this is how you can see the difference. Okay, now we are going to add another value. We are going to use the host name, or we can read the logs which values we were needed or we are going to visualize in our dashboard. We will go to the security events and I am going to open the Wazuh and select the agent host and ascending and select the value for and name. Okay, we are going to add another terms. The next field we are going to select as according to our requirement. I am going to select rule groups ascending 20 and group. You can see as soon as you will be adding the values, the data will be more readable and more visualizable. Okay, now we are going to select the timestamp and the values, and you can see you can change the time filter from here and see the logs, agent name, what what is the group and what will be the time. Okay, now we will add an other row, and now we are going to select rule description from the ascendings, description of the rule. Click on update button. As soon as you will add the values, and you will add the values in the buckets, the data will be more visualized and more readable. Now we are going to save this and name it as table monitoring, and save and return. This is our dashboard for monitoring of agents according to our requirement. Okay, let's check that our dashboard has been saved or not. No, it's just not saved. Okay, we are going to click on the visualize. It just has been added in the visualization. We have initially created the visualization. If you want to create dashboard, you have to edit, add an existing dashboard. We are going to select table monitoring and click on this save button and name this dashboard. Now the dashboard has been successfully created. I have just mixed up the things. Initially we have to create the visualizations, then we have to add these visualization in this dashboard. Let me create an other visualization. I am going to select pie chart for the Wazuh alerts and click on this split slice, select terms, timestamp, ascending, number of values you want to see, and click on this and name the label for your data. You can see you can create multiple type of dashboards using this visualization. Now I am going to select agent name and ascending. I need 20 values and name that with this. You can see this is this is for the agent name and it's the timestamp. Got it? Now we will add some descriptions, rule descriptions, ascending, we need 20 values and name of this. Save it, and now we are going to move our dashboard. If we edit this dashboard and add something new, we will click on this add button and select the pie chart, and it has been successfully added. You can set the position and location for your visualization. We are going to save as it is. This is how you can create the visualizations in your Wazuh server and dashboard in your Wazuh server. Hope you guys like my videos and understood the configurations and the scenario very well. If you have any query, any issue during this configuration, you can comment under my video. Show you how you can control or ignore the logs from the agent. In detail, you can say if you want to filter or minimize or control the logs that Wazuh agent sent to Wazuh server, how you can do that? Simply log into your Wazuh server. First, I am going to install agent. I'm going to install agent on Windows. What is the server address? This is the server address, agent name, my machine. Whatever you want to name your agents in the server. Simply you have to copy this command, open the PowerShell of the host, run it as an administrator. Simply paste this command, press enter. It takes a while to get the Wazuh agent installed. The next command is to start the service. Okay, the service has been started successfully. You can also verify that the Wazuh agent has been installed and the service is in the running state. Okay, let's move to our dashboard. So the Wazuh agent has been installed successfully. Before this installation, 0 agent were shown in the total agents, and every status of this agent was 0. Now total agent raised to 1 and never connected agent also valued 1. Soon it will move to active agents. Now how you can see the agents log? Simply you have to go to this security event on the main dashboard, click on it. It just got these logs. It's the first time installation, that's why it will send all the logs. Now what and how we can stop or minimize the number of logs that Wazuh agent sent to the Wazuh server. Okay, in this topic I am going to cover one more thing. If you want to minimize the log, or you want to make customized log, or you want to make readable short log of particular agent, I am going to show you how you can do this. You simply have to go to main menu, click on this discover button. I am going to select my agent by creating a filter. I will make another video of how you can create filters in the Wazuh to read the logs for the particular agent or for the particular event, whatever you can say. You have to type the field agent name. Operator is the condition. I'm going to explain little what is this operator. For example, I want to say case is one agent. If you want to see the logs for only single agent, you will select is. If you do not want to see any log of particular agent, you will select is not. If you want to see logs of multiple agents, you will select one is one of. Is one of mean if you install agent on 5 host or Windows machine, one of them is this. Is not one of them exist, does not exist, you will understand. Currently I have only two agents. One is Wazuh server and one is my machine. Click on this save button. You can set the time interval from here as well. Now I am going to make this little more customized. Agent name, this is the agent name. Now description of the rules or the logs. Rule ID, here come the rule ID. Now the one most critical is the event ID is the one we are going to add that event ID in the agent configuration file that will control and minimize the number of logs. Okay, event ID is not, the thing is any not an event ID based log has been triggered yet, so I'm going to show you how you can do that. Simply have to go to the folder and click on OSEC agent, go to the configuration file, maximize that configuration file. This is the part where you have to enter that particular event ID for the corresponding rule ID. Now I am going to uh, explain little more about this. This rule ID is correspond or parallel to the event ID. If we want to control the logs from the Windows based host or the agent, you have to identify the event ID for the particular rule and copy that event ID in this tag. If you want to add an other event ID here, you simply have to add space, paste this syntax and add this event. I add that event ID over here and save this configuration file. The next step you have to do is what? You have to restart the Wazuh agent service. That will do what? That will do what? The agent will stop sending that particular log to the Windows server. The question is why we do this? Because we want to ignore unnecessary logs that we do not need in the Wazuh server. Those logs were utilizing excessive space. Okay, let's check. No, yeah, that's the event ID. It's a pair. This is the event ID you have to every time add. If I do not want to receive these log on my Windows Wazuh server, because it's not, I must say it's not that much important. I just want to monitor critical logs, disaster base or high value logs. In that scenario, what I will do, I will add the email ID for that particular log in my agent configuration file and I will save that configuration file. After that, I will restart the service of Wazuh agent. That will stop sending logs to the Wazuh server. It will save our space for the Wazuh server. How you can implement policies on your indexes or the indices in your Wazuh server. For this, I am going to use the default instructions provided by the Wazuh. You can type simply Wazuh index management in your browser and click on this Wazuh index management. Here you have to follow these instructions if you are using Wazuh with Kibana Elasticsearch, right? So I am going to access my Wazuh server in the browser. Have to log in your GUI account for the Wazuh server. The GUI team takes a bit time to get ready. You guys were familiar with this. It always took some time if we have rebooted the Wazuh server or restarted the Wazuh server. If the server is running 24 by 7 in your environment, then it will not take as much time it taking right now. Okay, we are going to refresh it. Right. From the main menu, you will have to go to this index management. First, now, if you want to create a new policy, you have to go to the state management policy. If you already running policies on your server, you can go with this menu, and here are the indices which has been created. Please make sure not to delete one of these indices, right? If we are going to delete the indices manually, then we have to simply click any of the indices which we want to delete and click on this action button, and you can see here the delete button, and type this delete in it and click on this button, and this is how you can delete the indice manually. If you want to implement policies on this, then we are going to create a automatic policy. We are going to use visual editor, and this is the policy id we are going to name according to our memorization. Now we are going to add the states. We have to add an ISM template. That ISM template will automatically apply the policy to indices created in the future. Okay, we are going to click index pattern. What will be the index pattern? We are going to do this later. Now do this. We are going to add some state state 1 need to add action. What type of action you want to add? I am going to add the action here. This is the first action. If you want to add other, now we are going to click on this shrink action and add the action. Save this state. Now check if we can create an ISM. type of pattern and add template. Click on this. After the delete action, we have two actions in this state. Okay, we are going to edit this and add only one action in it. Now add another state, shrink. It will run before the state 1, and this is the state 2. We are going to add the action and save this state. Now we have successfully created two states. The first state is delete, but it will run after this shrink state, and click on this create button to create a policy. Okay, now if we want to apply any policy, we will search it and apply the policy. This is how you can apply the policy, and how you can create the policy. First we will create the policy that the data will be shrinked and then it will be deleted. And how we are going to apply that policy on our indices, you have to select the indice and click on the apply policy button and select the policy which one you want to apply and click on apply button. This is how you can create the policy in Wazuh and apply these policies automatically to your indices. Why we do that? We we does this to automatic delete our indices which get older and which get larger in size. This is how you can create the policies in Wazuh and how you can manage your indices. What are the indices? Indices are the data which will be created or which were created well, while the Wazuh server is running. Either these are the statistics log, either it's the monitoring log, either these are the alerts log. This is how you can manage your indices in your Wazuh server. My topic is older, but the scenario is the newer one. Today I am going to show you, guide you how you can configure auto backup policies in your Wazuh server to store the data or backup the data. So just move towards the configuration. You have to log in your Wazuh GUI, Wazuh server GUI. Currently I have only one agent registered and which is currently active. The events will be displayed here. I mean to show you that the logs were monitoring through the Wazuh server. I have data store in my Wazuh server. So the first step, you have to go to the snapshot management. For to create the backup policy, you have to create first a repository that will store these backups. And another thing, you need to add which indices you want to on backup. Like we have multiple indices, statistics, monitorings, alerts. These are the indices in which the logs or the data will be stored for the Wazuh agents. So I am going to create the repository here. We can add the share file system, or we can select the custom configuration. So we are going to use the share file system. We are going to name the repository weekly backup, right? And we are going to mount this folder at our drive available at the server, at the Linux server, not in this Wazuh GUI, and click on this add button. Okay, this is the error. We have to add the location in the CLI in the Linux, at our Linux machine at which the data will be stored. Let me show you. Okay, we have to follow some steps before creating or attaching the repository. Here we have to define the location where this backup will be stored, where this repository will be created at our Linux machine. So just SSH your Linux machine on which Wazuh server has been installed, and you have these steps to follow. You simply can create an directory at this location. So I have created at this, and you can check that the directory has been created or not. Successfully the directory has been created. Now you have to provide information permission to this directory to our Wazuh indexer user. Okay, the permissions has been assigned. Now we have to add this folder in our this opensearch.yaml file, that this location is identifiable, and where this repository and backups will be created in the future. So you just have to follow these instructions and save this configuration file. Now you have to restart your Wazuh indexer service on the Linux machine. So I have done these steps. The steps were very simple. Before you are going to create auto backup policy in your Wazuh GUI, you have to create an directory at your Linux machine. Then you have to assign permission or give permission to this directory to our Wazuh indexer user. Then you have to mount or give this path in this opensearch.yaml configuration file. Then you have to restart your Wazuh indexer service on your machine. So I have done these steps. As soon as the Wazuh server will be started, Yeah, the service has been successfully started. Let's check the status. Yeah, it's active and running. Now we are going to move to our GUI to continue from the steps from where we have just started. Now we are going to create an repository of weekly backup. Right, we are going to use the shared location and we are going to add this location here. Click on this add button. The repository has been created at this path on our Linux machine on which this Wazuh server has been installed and configured. Now we are going to create an auto backup policy. Then we have to click on this snapshot policies and click on this create policy. Now name it weekly backup policy. Right, if you want to add any message or any information, you can add this in the description. So we are going to name our policy. I have named it weekly backup policy and added some description, or you can say the messages you want to add, and click on this drop down to select whether you want to add all. If you add static, that will take backup of all the indices available. Otherwise you can just copy the name from here, like I am going to show you, and you have to paste it and add static with it. It will take the backups available, backup of all available files. You can select the static as well, and if you want to add customize, then I have guided you how you can take the backup and add the static. It will take all select the repository for snapshot, the place area where the backup will be stored. I have only one repository that has been auto selected, and you can create the new repository from here as well. Now you have to select the snapshot frequency. You can select it on the daily, or you can select on weekly. You can set the time available here and select the day on which you want to take the backup and select the time zone from here. So I am going to select currently on daily, and I want to take the backup on 20 p.m. Right, now we are going to select retention policy period check, and if you want to receive notification, you can select the option available here when a snapshot has been created, when a snapshot has been deleted, and when the snapshot has been failed. If we want to check, let me add time that I have to take the backup on this time, and where is our time zone. The way I have guided you, and click on this create policy button. The policy name must be in lowercase, so I am going to do the same. Let's see if we have removed the issue. This is how you can create auto snapshot policy or auto backup policy in your Wazuh server that will be run and will be created, and as soon as the backup will be taken, that will be displayed here in the snapshots. Hope you guys understood the scenario and guidance very well. Please like and subscribe my channel, and share with your friends, colleagues, and students. You can comment any of your issue, or you have any query, you can comment under my video. You can text me or you can email me. All the information regarding contact available on my channel.
How you can implement and how you can use that scenario for the Wazuh. The topic is old, but a new scenario, a new usage. Wazuh snapshot management policy, Wazuh backup and restore policies, and how you can schedule or how you can create policies for your backup and restore. For the today's scenario, I am going to use a external drive or the folder Windows base folder. I am going to mount that folder to our Wazuh machines, and we will take backup and restore from that drive or the share folder. So let's start with the configuration. First, we have to access our Wazuh master machine. We have to check this dependency or package is installed or not. This is the document I have created for myself. Install. I am implementing this scenario on the distributed and cluster based Wazuh. I have three nodes, one for master, one for worker, and third for the dashboard. Indexer installed on the both of machine master and worker. Wazuh manager is also installed on both machine. File beat is also installed on master and worker node. Dashboard is only installed on the third machine, which is dashboard. Okay, what we are going to do next, create directory and set the all configuration. We are going to create a share folder. I am going to create the folder name snapshot. Okay, what is the next step? Share this folder so can be accessed by Linux server. Okay, click on the properties, go to the sharing, share. I have already created a username with Yasir, and I am going to give rights to this user for read and write, and click on the share. This is the address of this folder. Okay, I am going to rename it because it is taking this folder as a now. It's okay. So go to the advanced sharing, share this folder. Okay, advanced sharing, share this folder. What is next? Then go to the permission option. Yes, the permission option. What is the next step? Click the all option below the allow for the user, and then add advanced. Okay, find now. Let's find the user. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now we have assigned all the rights to this user. Yes, I have done this. Now create the directory at the Wazuh server machines. First create the directory. We are going to create a folder or the directory at the default mnt directory at our Linux machines. Let's just copy this. You can check as well that the directory has been created. Okay, now access the worker machine. You have to repeat or do these steps on the both machine, master and worker. Looks fine till now. Now create the directory on the both Wazuh server. I have created. Now give the permission to Wazuh indexer on these directories. That's good. Now go to this configuration file. Okay, wait, friends. Okay, friends. Next, we have to do this is add this directory to this configuration file. Copy this and add this repo address and press Ctrl X, enter Y, enter. Now do the same on the worker node. Okay. What is next? Now you have to restart the Wazuh indexer service on your both nodes, master and worker node. Wait for the service to restart on the master node, then restart it on the worker node. Be careful with this. It is restarted successfully. That means our configuration is fine till now. Restarted on the worker node. Okay, the service of Wazuh indexer has been started successfully on the worker node as well. Now what we have to do next, we have to mount that share folder on this directory we have created on our Linux machine, on the, or you can say Wazuh master machine and Wazuh worker machine. What will happen in this scenario? Every time we create the backup or we restore the backup, that will be created first at the Linux machine on this drive, then it will automatically copy to our share folder, either it's a Windows based or the Linux based. And for this purpose, every time you have to check the unique this user ID and group ID. How you can check? You can run this command on the master machine and worker machine. Here you can see Wazuh indexer. The first one is UID and the second one is GID. It is same sometimes by default. We can check it on the worker node as well. Yeah, the same here. So now what is the address for our share folder is this. Let's edit this. Check ES and the folder name is 2. The remaining is same. Now copy this command and run this on the master node. I have some error in my query. And how could this happen? Okay, copy. Okay, let's I have to reconfirm this command. Wait. Okay, guys, I am doing couple of mistake. I am using my share folder machine address rather than IP, and the user I have created, yeah, say I'm using was indexer instead. You have to add the user of that folder who has all the access, and the IP address of that device, host machine, or the system or the server on which this folder has been created, and the address where you want to map this share directory. Now df minus h, here you can see this folder has been mounted. Now we have to do the same thing on the worker node. Enter the password for the user and it will mount the directory. See, the directory has been mounted here as well. Now what is the next step? Now create repository and take snapshot and